Um, right, so I suppose this is just following on from the first thing, whatever it was. Um, I need to think of a name for this actually. I don't really know what this is. I mean, it's like, I suppose it's kind of like a diary or like a blog. Obviously, a video blog is called a vlog, but as this is only audio, I can't really call it that. It's more like a podcast, I suppose. But no, it's not really it's not really structured enough to be a podcast, is it? And I mean, I suppose podcasts are normally around like half an hour to an hour ish, that kind of thing. Whereas this is just however long I can talk for, really. I mean, I don't want to waffle on for too long, but yeah, you know. So yeah, I think maybe audio blog is what this is, but that doesn't really shorten quite as nicely as vlog, does it? You know, you can't. I mean, a-log or audilog, any kind of shortening of that just sounds a bit stupid. So I'll have a think. Maybe if anyone does find these videos, they can help me with naming it, because well, I suppose I've already named it talks, haven't I? These are talks. That's what I went with in the end. Um, so this is talk number 2. Whether we want to name it like technically audio blog or whatever, I don't know. Whatever, it's not important. So anyway, I've actually made a few notes here about what to talk about. So there you go. It is a little bit more structured than just a complete random waffling. And it's just, I find it really weird that at the moment the audience is just 0. You know what I mean? It's strange that I'm talking to literally nobody. I suppose I'm just talking to myself, aren't I? That's probably what a lot of people do. I mean, I talk to myself all the time, just not out loud like this. This is strange. This is very strange. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? This is really weird. But I mean, anyway, someone actually did watch the first video. Having a look at the analytics thing that I've got here. One person watched it for 7 seconds. I think that means this is a success. That means I should really keep going. One person watched for 7 seconds, and they're from Germany as well. So I mean, this kind of supports my kind of original point. Like, how the fuck did someone in Germany find this video? And I mean, clearly they must have found it by mistake if they've only watched for 7 seconds. But I don't even know how. It baffles me how people are finding these videos still. I mean, is that good that someone's found it, or is it bad, or what? I mean, it's not great if they've only watched it for 7 seconds, is it? Clearly, I didn't capture their attention in the first 7 seconds. They thought, oh, what the fuck is this? Fuck this! I'm gonna leave. I mean, and rightly so. This pile of shit. You know, I'm not putting much effort into this at all. It's just me talking for however long it was. 6 minutes was the first one. I don't know. But yeah, is it good or bad that I'm getting some views? I don't know. To be honest. I don't really care. It's interesting. You know, I don't particularly want people to watch it or not watch it. I just want to kind of do my thing. You know, just keep making the videos or audio blogs, whatever you want to call them, and just see what happens. Really, whatever happens is interesting. You know, if nothing happens, that's pretty interesting. If every single video that I put up stays on 0 views, that's pretty interesting, to be honest. And equally, if people do find the videos and you know, comment on them or like or whatever, that's interesting as well, because I want to know how they found them. So yeah, it's just interesting. It's just interesting. I'm not too bothered, really. I suppose a goal that I can kind of set is to get a comment, to get some kind of like response. I just want my question answered. That's all I want. I don't think that's too much to ask. You know, if anyone does find these videos, how did you find them? I think it's probably unlikely that someone is going to find them that is actually willing to comment. You know, as we've seen with the first video, with one view for 7 seconds, you know, it's going to be just people stumbling across them and then realising they don't really care about this. So they just bugger off again after a few seconds. But nevertheless, you know, I think that's a reasonable goal. One person commenting. I mean, it can't be that difficult, can it? Or can it? I mean, obviously I'm not trying to get views, but I don't know, it's interesting. We'll just see what happens. That's an interesting thing to think about, actually. How many videos will I have to do? How many of these talks will I do before I get a comment? There you go. That's interesting. You know, will it be... Maybe I'll get a comment on this one. I don't know. Probably not. But it could be 10, 50, 100. I don't know. And it'll be interesting to look back as well when I get to like some kind of milestone, like 50 or 100, and just see what's changed. And if literally nothing has changed and I'm still getting 0 views, you know, if I look back at my analytics and see that I've averaged 0 on the last, on every video, then that's almost an achievement in itself, isn't it? Managing to get 0 views for like 50 videos in a row, that's impressive. But I don't think YouTube do rewards for those, do they? You know, they send out like, what is it, a little thing in a frame, like if you get 1 million subscribers. I think they do it for like 100,000 now as well. So there you go. It's not too difficult, is it? 100,000? No, 1 million? No chance. 100,000, no, that's reachable. I can do that. Give me a few weeks. But yeah, I don't think they do it for getting no views. Well, they should. They should give out these plaques, these framed things for being impressively bad, because I think that's what I am at the moment, is impressively bad. Yeah, maybe I'm trying to be impressively bad, but you know, whatever. But anyway, what was I talking about before? Yeah, it's just weird that this is essentially going to be... It's weird that, obviously, I'm putting this as public, so it's got the potential to be listened to by every single person in the world, you know. Potentially, I don't know how many billions of people are there on the planet could potentially watch this, and yet nobody will. That's very interesting. I find that very interesting anyway. And yeah, I suppose that's all I wanted to talk about. I think after this I'm going to start talking about more specific things rather than just, you know, internally talking about this or me. Yeah, I'll find specific subjects. I've got a little list of things I wanted to talk about. Sometimes they may be topical, sometimes not. Just general things, whatever's on my mind, really. If I want to talk about something, I'll come and talk about it. That's it. And if not, then I won't. And that's quite nice as well, having the freedom to just do whatever I want. You know, not sticking to a schedule or, you know, trying to say, oh, well, I'll upload once a week or twice a week or whatever, or I'll aim for a certain length for the videos. I'll just, you know, whenever I want to talk, I'll talk, and it'll be as long as it is. And if I go off on a tangent for 10 minutes, then that's what's going to happen, you know. And even if it is completely and utterly boring as fuck, it doesn't matter, because I've got no one to please. Literally, there's no one to please. That's quite nice. It's just myself. It's for now, this is quite fun. I think as soon as you start getting people, you know, demanding content, especially of a certain quality as well, then it gets a bit difficult. When you feel like you've got a duty to kind of, you know, keep up with that and put out a certain standard, that's a bit tricky. And I don't really want to start that. I think I just want to. I mean, it's incredibly unlikely that I would get to that point where I have an audience, you know, expecting certain things from me, but I hope that if I do get to that point, then I wouldn't, you know, cave into the pressure and do what they want or what you want, if you like, instead of what I want, because that's not what this is about at all. And as soon as I start talking about things that people want me to talk about, then that's, that's not good. I don't like that. So, yeah, I'm just going to enjoy the freedom, I think. I might not make another one of these for another month. It might be tomorrow that I think of something that I want to talk about. I don't know. Well, I mean, I already said I've got a little list, so I'll try and, space that out a little bit. I won't just splurge it all on them straight away. But yeah, it's just whenever I feel like doing it, really, which is great. I really like that. I don't want this to become like a job that I have to do. I mean, like I said before, I've got other channels that get a bit laborious after a while. You feel like you're putting in a lot of effort and not really getting anything back. Because it's difficult to get an audience. That's tricky to deal with when you're kind of spending almost hours on things that are just not being appreciated by anyone at all. So this putting in like not much effort at all it's not too bad. Being able to end it whenever I like as well is great. I mean, I could just cut